Tori Spelling and her husband Dean McDermott on the crisis that shattered their world.
Is the marriage still on the edge when the cameras are off?
A cheating scandal destroyed her.
Have you hit rock bottom?
Alcohol and drugs nearly drove him to suicide.
Are you sober?
Interviews so raw, so revealing, they had to be done apart. Coming up next on Dr. Oz.
Get comfortable. Today's show dives into the world of reality TV. Dean McDermott and Tori Spelling have been playing out infidelity, drug and alcohol abuse, and the emotional roller coaster of their marriage on their reality show, True Tori. Now, for the first time ever, both are appearing on this show. But they insisted on being interviewed separately. We'll start with Dean McDermott and the health crisis that nearly drove him to suicide.
I'm feeling like I'm just not the person for you.
It makes me scared that you're gonna leave me.
That's all we've been talking about lately. It's sort of me all bad.
Because those are my
That's
feelings.
what I feel like. It's just like me bad, me bad.
I want to continue this relationship after the show is over.
I tried so hard.
There's always trauma.
My head is spinning. And whatever people think of me.
Dean McDermott is here. You're chortling at that. I sort of was too, but then you realize how challenging what you're doing really is. It's no secret that you and Tori have had a tumultuous relationship, a marriage that has ups and downs. Is the marriage still on the edge when the cameras are off?
You know, you say tumultuous. I wouldn't say that of our relationship. I would as of late, since the affair. But right now, our relationship is stronger than ever. And, you know, I say it with, you know, great reluctancy, but, you know, this is a great thing that happened. You know, I wish it didn't go the way that it did. Mm-hmm. It didn't happen the way it did, but what it did was it forced us to look at our relationship and start dealing with the things that weren't working. Because in our relationship, we were going in opposite directions. Yeah. And, you know, this affair really sat me down, and I had to look at myself and look at my health, my mental health issues, my alcoholism, my drug use, you know, and really step up and be accountable for all those things and get the help that I needed.
Let's go through this if you don't mind, since you mentioned some of the big issues that I'd be worried about as a physician. The first is this issue of alcohol. Mm-hmm. Are you sober?
11 months and 7 days.
I love when alcoholics know the day.
Right? It means so much to me.
You were hospitalized recently for a concern about suicide. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What is it that was going on in your life that drove you to think about ending your life?
The story was going to break that I had the affair. This person had went to the media, sold the story, whatever. And something so personal and so damaging and hurtful and shameful was about to be unleashed and become very public. Mm-hmm. On top of how I was feeling about myself, incredible low self-esteem, not worthy of the relationship I had, and now this. There's no way that I could ever repair the damage that I just inflicted on the person I love the most. So for me, where my head was at was the best way to deal with this is to take myself out of the equation. Mm-hmm. I thought it would make everything a lot easier if I just wasn't here. This horrible, horrible person who did these horrible, horrible things doesn't deserve to take another breath.
Have you had thoughts like that since you left the hospital?
I'd be lying if I said I didn't. You know, I do. When things get bad and they get dark, and that negative self-talk creeps in. Mm-hmm. There are times where I think, yeah, it would be a lot easier if I weren't here. As life is hard. It comes up, and I deal with it. I talk to my therapist. I talk to my psychiatrist. I talk to our marriage counselor. I go, you know, I'm in the 12-step program. So I have all these things at my fingertips to help me through those moments.
Do you go to the 12-step program frequently?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. you have a sponsor?
Go to my morning meetings. I'm working with an individual now. Yeah, I've got a sponsor, and you know, the longer I'm in this program, the better it gets.
How has this affected your health specifically? I mean, how are you sleeping? How are you eating?
I wish I was eating healthier. I think we all are guilty of that. I'm sleeping well. You know, I'm getting more active. I've lost 20 pounds since rehab. Thank you.
Does it bother you that millions of people watch you going through a very personal, very intimate, very painful experience, that they actually derive enjoyment from watching you struggle with the woes of marital infidelity and addiction to drugs and alcohol?
You know, it's hurtful that people would look to that for entertainment, for lack of a better word, because I think people forget that because you're on TV, you're infallible. You know, like I'm a human being. You know, you cut me and I bleed just like you do. You know, there seems to be like a buffer that people can say anything they want about a celebrity and it doesn't affect them. Well, you know, I'm here to say, yeah, it does. It hurts a lot. So to go through what we're going through so publicly and have people take pot shots or, you know, make up stories, it's hurtful because not only, you know, doing the show did we want to, you know, put our marriage back together, but we also wanted to help others. You know, I have clinical depression, and I want people to know that, you know, there's help out there. You're not alone. And that's what I learned through this whole process is I'm not alone with the alcoholism and the drugs and the depression. You can get help.
Why would you continue to allow cameras into already a difficult situation? I mean, how important is the money, which is part of the equation?
You know, money is always, you know, an issue. You know, we live in a feast or famine business. You know, you got a show one day, you don't the next. Did it help making money? Absolutely. You know, I don't think anybody would scoff at trying to make a living. And it's what we do. It's what we've been making a living at for a long time. What with, you know, Tori and Dean in Love, Tori and Dean Home Sweet Hollywood. I mean, we made a living doing reality. And, you know, the thought of doing this show was more geared towards getting our life back together. We've shared the good with all of our fans through the other shows. Let's show them the other side of it and show that you can get through this. If you love each other, and that's, you know, you truly love each other, you can get through anything.
Now, I've heard rumors, unconfirmed rumors, that you're thinking of quitting the show.
Well, they're not rumors. I've fulfilled my obligation for season 2, but I won't be back if there's a third season. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. To sort of, you know, open a vein weekly or you reopen a scar and bare my soul, I think it's starting to take a toll. It's starting to have sort of a negative effect on me. I just feel like I need my privacy. You know, I think, you know, a lot of you people in the audience know a lot about me. And I'm just like, okay, I think maybe too much.
Can I read something to you?
Sure.
These are not my words. I'm just going to share them with you, though. Obviously, you've been very open about the fact that you've been unfaithful, both with Tori Spelling, your current wife, but also your past wife. Some critics have called you, and these are words they've used, narcissist, sociopath. How do you respond when people say these things?
I mean, sociopath's a bit much. You know, they don't know me. They don't know me. It's easy to sit back and point a finger at me and judge me and opine on me. But you don't know me. I made a mistake. And, you know, I'm not the only person who's ever had an affair. I won't be the last. But to sit back and judge me and name call, is unfair because you don't know me, and I'm putting it out there. You're seeing our therapy sessions, and there is a lot of talk about my past and my feelings and me. So I can see where people would think narcissist, but again, you don't know the whole story. You don't know who I am.
After 8 years of marriage, 4 beautiful children, you're now at a crisis point in your marriage. Is it salvageable? And how are you going to save it?
It is totally salvageable. It's totally salvageable. And how we're going to achieve that is through communication, hard work, therapy, working together, working individually.
Why should she trust you?
That's a good question. Because I love her. I love her. I love her so much. And, you know, I don't even think she knows how much I love her. It's just the tip of the iceberg of what you see. She shouldn't, you know, she has every right not to trust me. But I'm going to do everything I can in my power to earn her trust back and to just love her as much as I do.
If I can offer you some advice. I've had a very different opinion of you evolve through this conversation, and I've never met you before. I do believe you love her. You're obviously passionate about what you do in life. Most men who cheat on their wives cheat because they don't think they're good enough. If you don't deal with the self-esteem issues, because you are worth it, Dean, not only will it destroy your marriage, you'll make those 4 wonderful children that you brought to this planet suffer, and you'll return to drugs and alcohol because that's the reason that you're running from life. When you realize what a beautiful soul you really are inside and make peace with all those demons, then I think you're going to be in a much better place across the board, including with Tori. And I 100% endorse your decision not to do this publicly. This is just too sensitive an issue, and these words that I read to you, sociopath, narcissist, no one can see that and not bleed a little bit. Thank you for coming. Tori sits down with me next.
You just heard from Dean McDermott. Coming up, hear Tori Spelling's side of the story. The reality star and mother of 4 reveals how his cheating nearly destroyed her and the toll it's been taking on her health. Can this marriage be saved? Next. How to eat for your personality type. Whether you're a passionate, emotional, or habitual eater, find your unique style and let the weight loss begin. That's coming up tomorrow on Dr. Oz.
Dean McDermott just shared the intimate details of his tumultuous marriage to Tori Spelling. Now, Tori is here. She's admitted her life hasn't been easy, and now it's affecting her health.
Dean and I met and fell in love when we were both married to other people.
I am going to meet Mary Jo, Dean's ex. We haven't sat down and talked one-on-one since 8 years ago. I mean, you did tell me, like, this is what I know from my relationship, and it all became true in my own relationship.
I know a lot of people are like, well, karma's a bitch.
We had talked about him having a vasectomy right before he cheated on me. I know that I don't want any more babies with him.
Is that kind of hard to hear, Dean?
There's consequences to actions. I felt the need to say it.
Today we'll find out how it's all taking a toll on her health. Tori Spelling is here. Please join us. Thank you for coming, Tori. Now, you actually were scheduled to come here almost a month ago.
I was.
And you got sick. What happened?
In the hospital. You know what? When you have 4 kids, I have 4 little kids. They all bring it home from school, and mom kind of takes care of them, puts mom last, and I usually get hit the hardest. And I got bronchitis really bad, and I was working
you in the
through
hospital.
it.
My goodness.
And I ended up in the hospital, which was horrible.
So you have bronchitis, you have migraines. I see them on the show all the time. What other ways has stress hurt your life in the past year?
Oh my gosh. I don't deal with stress well before this show, before True Tori. So anytime I would have emotional stress, for years, my whole life, I would just repress and keep going, and no one knew really. And it would just start coming out. I would be sick all the time, sinus, migraine, everything.
Why have you chosen to be public about so much of what's going on in your life? Because that could compound this.
For sure. I think initially it wasn't a choice, it was made public. And then for me, it was, I had such a personal connection with all my fans over the years. Everyone has been so supportive of me that I made that decision that I thought I can keep letting them go on and say the things that are false, or I can go out there and I can tell my story.
The fans, and they do love you, are also often commenting on the fact that you've got 4 wonderful children, and they're being exposed to this as well.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about how it might impact them to be so public about so much of this?
They're very young right now. They're 7, 6, 3, and 2. And for them, the camera crew, it's very small. It's 2 camera guys, 1 sound guy, 1 producer, 1 director. And it's people, we put together a crew that they've known their entire lives. So they have a great time with them.
So this is an awkward day for me. At yours and Dean's request,
Correct.
It's the first time I've had to interview a married couple separately. What's going on?
Well, I wanted my own time with you. I'm a huge fan. I get to be with Dr. Oz. I don't want to share you with my husband. I wanted my own advice. I'm being honest. But I really felt like Dean has done press for the show, and this is really my first time talking about what I've been through this year, for this season of True Tori, and it's been a lot lately. And I just kind of wanted to come on and talk about what I've been going through and kind of keep it separate. We're here together. He's backstage.
So can I ask some questions then about the marriage?
Sure.
You've described, these are your words, that the marriage is a fairy tale that would last forever. You say it's a marriage that's still worth fighting for.
Yeah.
You still believe that's true today?
I do. I really do. We were just talking last night about how we feel like our marriage is getting stronger and stronger. The catalyst that brought us to this point, I wish it hadn't have been the affair. I wish it had been something else, but we needed something to intersect because we were going the wrong direction.
How much of what's going on in your life now is about the marriage issues, and how much of it is a bigger issue with trust that you have in your life, the ways you've been hurt?
It all plays together. I definitely went into this process of doing the show and documenting it, thinking it was about the trust that had been broken with Dean. But what I found through the process is that it was on a bigger, grander level, and it was something from my childhood. And the trust and the belief in myself and the self-confidence was never there. So that's something I needed to go back and fix before I could even fix our marriage.
As I watch infidelity play out in different places, women often blame themselves. Mm-hmm. But I always felt that it's the man lacking his own self-esteem that's often leading to it. He doesn't think he's actually probably good enough for you.
That's what he said.
Is it?
That's what he said, and I believe that. I don't feel it's my fault.
Yet you seem to manifest all kinds of physical problems from the stress you're feeling. When have you hit rock bottom? Do you think you're going to hit a rock bottom? What's that going to feel like when you just can't hold it together and it's taking its toll?
Yeah. For so long, I think what people saw on the outside was this woman that can do it all. And I was super mom, 4 kids, running all these businesses, acting. I was doing it all, and I was thinking on the inside, God, I feel terrible. And this is all gonna implode at some point. I can't keep it together. They're gonna intersect. And doing this show, getting so much emotion out, it's been cathartic and therapeutic, and it's amazing. But I started getting the migraines, and everything was coming together. And now I realize, after being in the hospital for 2 weeks, being away from my kids, that was my rock bottom, because they weren't even fazed by me being in the hospital. They're used to it. And I was like, I don't want them to grow up thinking mom's sick, so I need to change.
So how are you going to change? What's going to change?
I need to prioritize me. And my problem is I put everyone before me. And I think it's something, it really does go back to childhood, not feeling worthy enough that I should be allowed to be taken care of, or I should have any worth to even eat, drink, you know, get something first. It's all about my kids, my husband, everyone.
And how is that relationship going to change with your husband? It's going to be uncomfortable to rebuild that trust.
It is. We're working on it. It'll take time.
You know, I saw the two of you talking at one point in your show. He was asking you for advice. Actually, he was asking you for orders. What's your order going to be for him?
You know, I've asked him a lot. I've asked him to listen to me, take care of me, take care of the kids, step up in our family, and he really has. He's really working on himself and us.
I really enjoyed meeting you.
Thank you.
I wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
And I'm just going to say this. I know it's hard to make these decisions, but I think it's really hard to make them when you've got millions of people watching you and magnifying every comment you make and augmenting it in a way that plays a role deep in here. At the very core, you know, we ignore stress in America. We don't talk about it, but it hits us in ways we never expect. You've actually been blessed to only be hurt in the ways you've been hurt so far. But I've dealt with too many people who have suffered problems that don't get better.
Thank you.
Bless you. Be sure to check out season 2 of True Tori. It's airing Tuesdays at 9 on Lifetime. Be right back.
Coming up, do you suffer from exhaustion? Do you rely on coffee and energy drinks to get you through the day? Try these simple alternatives to keep you going and keep you from crashing. Natural power foods to give you an all-day energy boost. Next.
Now it is time for my energy reboot. Now, if you suffer from exhaustion, I'm sharing simple things you can do to rev up your body so you can get up and go. And today I'm revealing power proteins to give you an all-day energy surge. Andrea is joining us. She has been having some energy problems. So what have you tried to reboot your energy?
Hi, Dr. Oz. I've tried so many things. I've tried coffee, energy drinks, chocolate.
The usual suspects. The
Yes.
usual suspects. You know, I don't like generally to use those kinds of supporting tools for energy because they give you just a couple measly hours of support. They don't give you what you really want. And they speak to everybody about this. They're not a clean source of energy, right? They've got sugar in them. They've got caffeine in them that sometimes is unquantifiable. You don't know how much. And when you're done with the sugar and the caffeine, you go crashing down.
Every time.
Right, and you gotta go back up again. So it's a very uncomfortable plane ride for your metabolism. So I'm gonna give you power proteins. Power proteins, gonna give you a more steady, even release of energy, which is what most of us actually want, and you can use that power throughout the entire day.
Great.
So what generally are the times of the day when you have the most struggles with energy?
Quite a few, many times during the day. It's right when I wake up, which is about 4:45, 5 a.m.
Well, no wonder you're tired.
Well, grab the coffee. I go out to the barn. I live on a farm. So go out to the barn, feed all the animals, come back in, get ready for work, go to work. Probably around 9 a.m., start to crash again, so.
So let me tackle those two just to get us started.
Sure.
So, you know, you're feeding the animals. The question is, what are you feeding yourself? So come on back around here. Let's start off with my first little tip, which has to do with eggs, and specifically an whole egg. Now, a lot of people have this misperception about yolks. Are you a yolk eater or not eater?
I am, and this is fabulous because actually I have 29 chickens.
Ooh.
I do.
You ever eat the chickens?
No.
No.
They have names.
They have names. They're
Not
pets.
eating the chickens.
They're pet chickens, all right.
I have pet chickens and they do a fabulous job.
What?
They lay probably 18 eggs a day.
Perfect. So from now on, this is for all the folks I see you ordering these I'll have an egg white frittata. You want to eat the yolk. The yolk actually has the B vitamins that give you a lot of the energy you need throughout the day. I recommend 1 egg a day, probably the cheapest source of protein you're going to get anyway. And because you're going to keep that yolk in there, you can actually get a little bit more out of it. I know, however, although you may love eggs and I do as well, a lot of folks find them a little plain. So I asked a top food blogger to show us quick-fire ways to make them more egg-citing.
Hi, Dr. Oz. I'm Jenny Rosenstruck, a food blogger. I'm going to start with muffin tin frittatas, which I love. The best thing about them is they can be ready to go and grab in the morning. Burritos, which are great for families because they're so customizable. Another favorite of my house, scrambled eggs on toast. And the way I like to make my scrambled eggs is just with a little bit of Parmesan, salt and pepper, and then chives on top. Deviled eggs, I feel like everyone loves a deviled egg, and there are ways to upgrade them. You can just have the bacon, or if you're feeling a little ambitious, you can put some smoked salmon on top. I think it's a really great way to start out when you're having people over.
Now, I brought you all backstage for my next power protein. So how does your mid-morning energy dip affect your life? You're just describing around 9, you said you have a little sag.
A little bit of a sag, and I'll grab an energy drink or drink a little more coffee, throw some honey in there. We have beehives also.
Oh my goodness, you got a whole farm
Yes.
going, as you said.
So, but it lasts just a couple hours.
So my crew used to always come back here and get their coffee break
Oh.
in the mid-morning. So from now on, I say instead of a coffee break, we're giving them a hemp break.
Oh.
This is the only kind of hemp that they're allowed to have on the set. But it's actually a hemp seed, and you want to sprinkle some on some. And that's
Certainly.
yeah. But you want to put it on cold things like smoothies and fruit and etc. It has a lot more protein than things that like chia and flax that most people love. The combo of the protein and the fiber are actually hugely beneficial in preventing those energy spikes that we're talking about. And you want to use them on cold dishes. Like the smoothie, go ahead and give that a taste, see if you like it. Because when you heat up hemp, you actually destroy some of the nutrients that are in there. You don't want to do that. So instead, this can become your energies.
Wow.
Isn't that nice?
That's really
Yeah,
good.
you know what? Take the hemp with you. You can use
Do
it
you
on the
mind?
farm. You could probably grow hemp on your farm. You know that? Just kidding. Just kidding. Come on.
Would
Okay.
you like to try some too?
No, I've already had some. There used to be 2 on there. Now they only have 1. Okay, let's go to lunch. Describe the lunch that you normally have. I'm just curious what kinds of energy you may get from it.
Well, usually I have leftovers. Grab whatever I cooked from the evening before, throw it in bread, or have a little bread with it. And
Bread's not much of an energy sustaining product, is it?
no, it tastes good though.
It does taste good.
It does.
So we're going to take you away from that, give you something that tastes good, but has a little more sustenance than that. The power protein to add to your lunch are red lentils. They're a great meatless option because
Okay.
meat's great, but sometimes it actually will, not get you where you want to be. Fantastic source of iron, which is a very important part of generating energy in our bodies. Huge reason we don't have the energy is because our iron levels are low. And instead of regular lentils, if you have red lentils, they're a lot easier to cook. So they'll save you time as well. So you'll have more time to enjoy all that energy you're getting from eating them. You can have them in a side dish, put them on a salad, put them in a soup. There are many ways of having them. Okay. Let me move to the last area here.
Sure.
This is the last protein that I want you to be thinking about, and this has to do with the sweet tooth that we may have.
Okay.
You've already cupped to eating bread. What do you do for sweets?
Well, I usually grab peanut M&Ms.
Oh, you do?
Chocolate.
While walking out, take care of the chickens, the pet chickens.
Well, usually it's definitely after lunch, maybe an hour or 2, 3 o'clock or something. I hit a lull, so I'll grab chocolate or something sweet.
So the next time you go for that sweet, which is a very, very common thing for us to go for because it gives us that quick little boost, but
Yes.
again, you burn brightly but very briefly. I want you to think about my PB and F. Have you ever had one of those?
No.
So you know what a PB&J sandwich is?
Oh,
This is
definitely.
peanut butter and fig. And there's no bread, notice, that naughty bread you mentioned earlier. You take the figs, you can use them as bread, cut them in half, fill them with peanut butter. You have a couple of things. First of all, fruits like figs also have a fair amount of fiber and protein in them. And the peanut butter has about 8 grams of protein. So it's a nice 1-2 punch. Go ahead and give that a taste.
Nice.
Simple to make, easily converts this to energy, but also sustained energy because of the fiber that's in there. What do you think?
Wow.
You know what? I want you to take this and offer this to the audience, and I want to get the pictures of their eyes.
Okay.
Enjoy it. And while you do that, I want you to show me your energy reboot. Take a picture of your power protein and post it on a Wednesday, because that's the day we all struggle with energy. Use hashtag Hump Day Reboot. For more power protein recipes, you can go to droz.com. We'll be right back.
Now that you're ready for a reboot, Dr. Oz wants to hear from you. Tell us, how do you keep your energy up?
I used to always drink coffee, but now I'm focused on water and protein. Keeps me going throughout the day.
Share your tips on Facebook.com/Dr. Oz. Coming up next, did you know that pumpkins can control your hunger? Find out the many delicious ways they're good for you. Easy recipes to improve your health, immunity, and mood. The surprising power of pumpkin. Coming up next. How to eat for your personality type. Whether you're a passionate, emotional, or habitual eater, find your unique style and let the weight loss begin. That's coming up tomorrow on Dr. Oz.
It is that time of year. Everywhere you look, there are pumpkins. Pumpkins for spiced lattes, pumpkin donuts, pumpkin muffins, pumpkin everything. So I'm joined now by a guest, Abdullah, who says she's a self-proclaimed pumpkinaholic. Is that true?
Yes, Dr. Oz. I love pumpkin. I mean, I love to eat pumpkin all year round. I'm such a fan of pumpkin. And look, Dr. Oz, my nails.
Oh, she does.
This is for the season.
Look at that.
This
look
is
at
for
that.
the season, Dr. Oz.
Despite liking it all season
That's
year,
right.
she wants it especially in the fall. That's very nice.
All
That
the
looks like
time.
hard to do. You do that yourself?
No, of course not. I'm not that talented.
What pumpkin flavors do you like the most?
Oh, I love them all, Dr. Oz. Everything has all the pumpkin seasoning in it. I just love it so much.
Well, it has pumpkin seasoning, it has pumpkin flavoring, but my concern is it's not really pumpkin. All these things I've been talking about, a lot of these lattes, these buns, the donuts, I can guarantee that one did not come out of a pumpkin.
Oh my gosh.
And when it's pumpkin flavored, it comes with other little partners that aren't so good for you. So today, since I love pumpkins, I went pumpkin picking this weekend.
Oh, you did?
I'm gonna walk you through things that I could make with you, and that all of us can make pretty quickly.
Okay,
And they're all
and I
good
love
for
the
you.
way they smell.
Oh, I love this bun, that's the best. Just leave it, put that down. Step away from the donuts. Ugh, Abdullah, it makes me concerned. Okay, number one, pumpkins are filled with fiber. That's important because when you have a lot of fiber, it helps control your appetite. 3 grams of fiber in one of these cans. By the way, canned pumpkin has even more fiber than the real pumpkin because you pull the fluid out of it.
That I did not know.
Yeah, so you can mix it with oatmeal, which I happen to adore. Give that a taste, see if you
oatmeal,
like
let's
it.
check it out.
It's the best.
Oh,
You
let's
take
see.
oatmeal, mix it with a little pumpkin, and you're good to go. And you don't have to add any sugar to it or anything else.
This is really good.
Isn't it cool?
This is
For all the pumpkinaholics out there. Okay, now put the spoon down. You're gonna need more
All right.
eating coming up here. Second big thing is it helps boost your immunity. It's got vitamin A in it, vitamin C in it, all the things that are sort of orangey and colorful like this do. And one of the best ways to get it, because it's so darn fast, you slice the pumpkin up like this. Take one of these and go ahead and taste
Oh, these
it.
look so good too.
You roast it for about half an hour. You can put cinnamon on the inside, which I happen to adore. I don't usually eat the skin, but you could try it. Is the skin okay?
It's delicious.
The skin is too?
Of course.
You kidding me?
Yeah, Dr. Oz. You didn't know that, Dr. Oz.
Okay, your skin. Are you kidding me?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Some people like the skin. I like to peel the skin. That's a much better taste like that, without the chewy stuff on the inside.
Delicious.
It's tolerable. All right. Now, you know the guts that I put out over there, those little seeds, and what do you normally do with that when you have a pumpkin?
Oh, I just throw them all out.
Toss them.
Yeah, chuck them.
All right. From now on, I want you to remember that's probably the most important part of the pumpkin for your mood and for your sleep.
Okay.
And you take the seeds, very simple, take off the little yellowish stuff around them. You throw them in the oven, again, for half an hour at most. You can put some pumpkin pie spice on them, which is fabulous. Go ahead and taste these. Or just have them, plain without anything else on them.
try
They
this one, it's
contain
delicious.
tryptophan. That's the precursor to serotonin, that feel-good hormone of our body. It also stimulates us to make the hormones that let us get to sleep. So you don't get depressed with the serotonin, and you sleep better with the melatonin. So you be very happy as you sleep, which is a good
These are really
combination,
good.
aren't they?
These are delicious.
And we actually make these in big batches whenever we go pumpkin picking, and that way we can store them up and use them for a while to go. And you can't go wrong with them.
I won't chuck them anymore. I promise.
Thank you. Now there's one last thing. You mentioned a pumpkin latte before.
Oh, yes, I love
Aren't
pumpkin
they
latte.
good? So I went online and I asked some of our viewers what their pumpkin latte recipes were. And there's a mommy blogger, and she sent in, who sent us a little video. This Mama Natural is her name. She sent a video on how to make pumpkin latte at home with real pumpkin, which I thought was really cool. Take a look.
Hi, Dr. Oz. I have a recipe for an all-natural pumpkin spice latte. First, you're going to add 4 cups of strong coffee. Think of making it 50% stronger than you normally would. Then you're going to add 6 cups of almond milk, 1.5 cups of pumpkin puree, 1/2 cup of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon pumpkin pie spice, and 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. Then you want to stir all of your ingredients and set your crock pot on high and let it cook for 2 hours. I like to top mine with a little bit of coconut sugar. Now this recipe serves 8, so you can share it with friends, or you can enjoy pumpkin spice lattes all week long.
Mama Natural, Abdullah, they're called Toasty. What do you think?
Toast the pumpkins.
Toast the pumpkins. You like
It's
it?
actually very good. It actually tastes sweet. You wouldn't know that it's actually all healthy for you. It's actually very good.
It's better than the rind you were trying to give me before, isn't it? It's so simple to make. You find all these solutions everywhere you go these days. And you can go to the pumpkin spice latte recipe at DrOz.com. And lots of other delicious, all-natural pumpkin recipes are all there at DrOz.com. We'll be right back.
Next, this 78-year-old bodybuilder is not only kicking butt, she's inspiring lives. A fitness instructor whose high-energy workout has helped many to dial down blood pressure and cholesterol. Now a surprise that'll knock her off her feet.
It's time for Everyday Health Heroes. Today's hero, a record-holding 78-year-old bodybuilder from Maryland who not only is kicking butt, but she's saving lives. Meet the feisty fitness instructor, Ernestine. Please join us. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness, you look wonderful.
Thank you.
Can you believe 78 years old? Are you really?
Yes, I am. 78 years old.
Hey, how do you do it? You're in amazing shape.
Well, before I answer that question, I have to tell you, you are one handsome man.
Well,
and
thank you.
May I please watch this? It's real.
It's so real.
It's real.
That's the hair my mother gave me. It hasn't changed at all. Well, you are spunky and feisty and everything else that's described about you. How do you do it? How do you look like that at 78?
First of all, I love life. And I love people. Yeah. And then plus, I love to wear these, sexy clothes.
It's nice. It's mighty nice. Unbelievable. So Ernestine's fitness classes are so popular, there's often a waiting list just to get in the place and get in shape with her. Take a look.
You got one more. Come on.
Determined, dedicated, and disciplined.
Rock it.
That's the mantra Ernestine lives by.
Second set. I am trying to get people to be healthy, happy, and confident. Good job.
Ernestine's focus on fitness didn't start until she was 56, when she and her sister went shopping for, what else? Bathing suits.
I came out of the dressing room, and so did my sister. She looked at me, and I looked at her. She started laughing. Then we knew we had better start some type of exercise program.
After hitting the gym, Ernestine slowly began to see results. But when her sister was struck by a terminal illness, her dying wish was for Ernestine to go big and become a professional bodybuilder. And boy, did she. At 71, in her very first competition, Ernestine took home first place and went on to become the Guinness World Record holder for the oldest female bodybuilder.
I love my body, and I work hard at it. And when others see me, they smile and they say, if you can do it, I can do it too.
Before I met Ernestine, I was full of stress. I'm much more healthy. The stress is gone.
I have more energy, and after I finish exercising, I feel wonderful. Miss Ernestine is a real inspiration.
At 78, Ernestine is fit, fabulous, and pushing others to get and stay healthy.
I truly love everything that I do. I actually lead by example. And as I tell everyone, age is nothing but a number.
So I guess, what is it like to know you have such a profound impact on so many people?
It has just been wonderful knowing that the people trust me to come to the class and try to help them to be as healthy and as happy and as positive as they possibly can.
You know, these students you have, all these folks that you run into, whose lives you touch, they love you so much. They didn't just want to say hello on a videotape. They wanted to do it in person. So they are all here. Can I bring them out?
Yes.
You okay?
Yes.
Call them out then. Come out, class.
Come on out, class.
Let's see them. How are you? It's like a class reunion here. Yes, you can. You can all get hugs from me. You can see the emotion here, the energy. It's not a lot of wasted time. All right, so yeah, you keep kissing. Let me ask the question. We got a couple. Yeah, they all love you, and they really do. Let's start off here. So blood pressure. Well, now how was it that Ernestine helped you with your blood pressure?
Well, I've been attending Miss Ernestine's class for more than 3 years, and as a result of following her plan, I have gained more energy, more flexibility, and lowered my blood pressure, and it's all due to this lovely lady here.
So, everybody stand up. We're doing a little poses here. We're doing a little workout. Put your signs down. Yes. Everyone in the audience, please stand. And we're going to celebrate Miss Ernestine by doing a little workout with her. Just 2 seconds. Put your hands up. You're going to do it this way, right?
Right, yes.
The left and then right. Is I got it right?
That's correct. Everyone ready?
Yeah.
And left. Right, left.
All right, you guys keep doing this. Remember, if you know a hero like Ernestine who's helping people live healthier and healthier, I want to hear from you. Go to DrOz.com. Nominate the everyday health hero in your town. I want to have him here. Be right back. Go up.
Now we want to hear from you. Who is the biggest inspiration to reach your health goals?
Mine is this little boy. In the face of adversity, he overcomes, and he has taught me to do the same.
Share yours with Dr. Oz on Twitter with #Ozspiration. All new Dr. Oz. How to eat for your personality type. Whether you're a passionate, emotional, or habitual eater, find your unique style and let the weight loss begin. Plus, doctors gave her 3 months to live. 2 years later, TV legend Valerie Harper is still going strong.
We have more power over it than we realize.
The mind-body connection to healing. All new Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
Thanksgiving is just around the corner. One of my viewers shared one of her favorite festive feast foods. This is from Karen in Daytona Beach, Florida. She shows us her terrific turkey veggie tray. Isn't that pretty cool? It's a creative way to oohs and ahs, to get those kiddos to gobble up their vegetables prior to dinner and the pies. I love the colors. For directions on how to make this dress up for your Turkey Day meal, you go to DrOz.com. Now, it's the time for in case you missed it. First, we have talked about pumping up your immunity with the power of pumpkin. Pretty good time of year to get into it. It's a great source of vitamin A, which is essential for the production of white blood cells, and they fight off the infection for you. So you can either freeze pumpkin puree in these wonderful silicone cupcake holders. That way you have them on hand whenever you need them. So peel the pumpkin, make the regular puree, and freeze them up. Or you can spice things up with a hot cup of homemade pumpkin spice latte. I'll put this on DrOz.com, but this, my friends, is good to die for. Here, taste that. Don't spill it on yourself. And don't share it with anybody, just mine and yours. All right, finally, I want to close with a warning. Please be careful about what you buy online, especially weight loss pills. Dubious people online make it seem like I'm endorsing their products, but you all know I don't. To see a full list of our trusted sponsorship partners, please go to DrOz.com, and I will see you next time. What do you think?